Hey guys, Josh the Untitled Guy here. Today we're going to do a video of Cadet XT1 Enduro Series LT 46-inch tractor. This tractor I did purchase last year in the springtime. Actually, this is my second one. My first one, the transmission exploded and dropped oil all over the place. This is my second one. I got this on, I believe, April 20th, April 22nd, somewhere around there. And yeah, this one, few pros, few cons. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first, we're just gonna do a walk around. This thing has roughly 109 hours on it, somewhere around there. This tractor is equipped with a Kohler 7000 series 22 horsepower V-twin motor, not a newer Chinese knockoff motor. 3-gallon fuel tank, very nice, I like it a lot. There's your oil dipstick. There's your fuel pump. There's a fuel pump on this motor. There's your air cleaner. One of the spark plugs, the starter. The starter, there's a problem with it. Sometimes it makes like a weird noise, and sometimes it gets stuck in the up position. So I've seen a lot of people have problems with a Kohler twin cylinder starter, so definitely Kohler needs to improve on their starters. Here's the steering mechanism back there. The steering, I absolutely love the steering on this. No problems whatsoever with the steering. Same with the steering wheel. You can tell with the palm of your hand, it's like a mechanical power steering, although it's not power steering. One thing, the hood is plastic. I do not like that at all. I prefer a metal hood. Now I'll show this for whoever wants to see. That's like for the sticker, for blades, belts, air cleaner parts, all that stuff. Now, these lights are LED lights. Now, I'm not gonna lie. For those of you who know, I collect Gemmy Eberlin flammers, of course. I do not like LED lights in them. However, I'm not going to lie, the LEDs on this Cadet have been working very well. No problems whatsoever with the lights. Very bright, even at low throttle. I like that feature a lot. It has a hydrostatic transmission. One thing, I'm not too sure about this. I'm just going to say this, but I don't know if you can add fluid to it. Now, especially for someone who has roughly 4 acres of grass to cut, it's important that we can have access to our hydrostatic transmissions and put fluid in them. This way, we can use our equipment for a while. But that companies doing that means, every few years, go buy a new tractor, jack up the price $100, and keep doing it every few years. That is a huge no-no, especially for someone that's been collecting tractors for the whole lifetime. Definitely a big no-no. Now let's talk the deck height adjustment. I really like this. 1/4 inch increments right here. You have 4 inches to 1 inch. Very nice to move, very easy to move. This is a manual PTO. Very nice to move. It has a cable. I don't like the cable. I prefer a metal link and shaft as opposed to a cable. The cable I know is going to break. Some of the bigger units, there'll be an electric clutch button right here where you can pull it. Actually, my neighbor has a 50-inch version of this. He got the same year I did. Sometimes the hood doesn't click there, but that's no big deal. He has the electric clutch on his model. Now, I don't like about that is you gotta have the battery for that, and it's just a whole mess. So I prefer this as opposed to the electric clutch. But the tires are nice. They are, what are they? 20 by 8 by 8. No problems really with slipping. I have hills all over the yard. Really no problems with slipping. This right here, you pull this rod and you disengage your parking brake, and you can push this tractor around in your garage or shed or whatnot. There's the battery and the fuses right there. One thing I hate about MTDs, especially this one, the solenoid is way under there, so you have to take out the battery to get to it, which is a huge no-no. I like the seat on this. I like the easy to adjust seat. Real easy to adjust. Very nice, comfortable high back seat. Be nice if it had an armrest, but no big deal. I hate those low back seats. I only like up to here. I hate those seats. There's the pedal, hydrostatic pedal. Push, the more you push it forward, it goes faster. Same goes for reverse. It's the key. Cadet key, made by MTD. This is when you're mowing, when the blades are on. If you want to go in reverse, you click it here, press this button, and then this red light will come on. You can mow in reverse. I like that feature. I like to mow in reverse. And always look where you're going, because some idiots just mow with their kids, which they do not have the right to own a tractor. You don't have to open the hood to fill your fuel tank, but I always do anyway because it's kind of hard to read this here. From the seat on the tractor mowing, yeah, it's definitely useful, but I always open the hood when I fill the fuel tank. Now let's go over some more controls. This is the throttle / choke. This is all plastic. This plastic piece here broke because it's plastic, very cheap. Definitely should be metal like the older ones. Right there's full throttle, all the way up is choke. This is the hour meter. We have, let's see how many hours I have. Battery volt, 109.7 hours. Use this thing a lot. This right here is your parking brake. This is your brake. You can push this down and use cruise control or parking brake. Push this down, and then simply push this down, and then the brake is locked. This mower, or not mower, this tractor is equipped with a 46-inch 2-blade deck. Let's go over the deck. For a flat yard, it's fine. For my yard, in certain spots, the hills, this thing definitely digs into the ground, and I'm on my second or third set of blades, and definite big no-no. It bends the blades, and you definitely have to watch out for that. If we have a 42-inch Craftsman made by MTD, a newer one, Pro Series T7800, not older ones like these by Husqvarna / AYP. That works fine, but this big no-no. I don't know about a 50-inch one or a 54-inch one. So yeah, now the XT1s for the front tires come with bushings as opposed to bearings. I would have liked to have bearings, but at least you can grease them. There's a grease fitting somewhere. Where the hell is it? Cast iron front axle, which is nice. There's one on the inside here, then there's one somewhere. There's one somewhere over here. Oh, right here it is. As opposed to, and same on the other side too. Let's talk about the motor. Really having any problems with it? The only thing I really had problems with is about halfway through of last summer, and all of a sudden decided to run on one rod. Then something was wrong. Took it to a Cadet dealer. They fixed it up, and it's somewhat fixed. Now, if I start it and put it on full throttle, it runs on. It sounds like it runs on one cylinder or something. Put it to choke and pull it back down to full throttle. Then it runs fine. So that's nothing too major, but you know, I would prefer, you know, it worked fine, you know. Battery is 230 cold cranking amps, which was 300. Deck wash system, it works, but I prefer to get under there and scrape the deck as opposed to rusting it with water. I don't like the oil leak thing here. It's easy to change the oil, but then these things the bolt comes loose where they bolt into the block, and then they leak oil. There's an oil filter, which is nice. Engine numbers and stuff. It has a 3 years for everything, 5 years for the frame and front axle, and the deck is, I know Husqvarna is the 10 years, but I don't know what they are in Cadets. I think they said a limited lifetime, so who knows. Definitely 3 years for sure. Now this is a 2018 model. Long story short, the Home Depot where I got this from, they had two 2018 models, and they were trying to get them for $1,900, but then the first one I got had the $1,700 price tag on it, so I got it for that, and then went out and blew the transmission. We just swapped it out for this one. So I already registered this on the Cub site, so if anything happens, yeah, I mean, they took care of the engine. Although, I wonder if they'll take care of the throttle or not. One thing I hate about this, and for those of you who are trying to get to your throttle and ignition, you can't. You have to take off the steering wheel, take off the top of the dash here, move the gas tank, and then get to everything, which is a huge hassle. So, big no-no. Now, one thing I like about that is it says engineered and assembled in the USA. This is made in the USA. That's the important thing. Not too sure, but I hope it is. Probably not though. So, in conclusion, let's go over some things I do and don't like about this tractor. I like the seat. It's nice. Steering wheel, nice. Tires are fine. Controls are fine, except for the throttle. Now, some things I don't like about this tractor. I don't like how they have no grease fin on the back of on these deck wheels on the back. The front ones have them, but not the back ones. I don't like this plastic hood at all. I prefer a metal hood in a heartbeat. And the deck this should be a 3-blade deck, not 2-blade, because I have a lot of problems with it. And all in all, I would recommend this if you have flat yard. If you have hills, bump up to a 50-inch one. You definitely you won't regret it for sure. Why don't we hop on it, take it for a spin, and I'll show you how. Okay, have your parking brake on, or hold down the pedal. Make sure we're in choke. Turn the key.